Your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker.
Then I'll see you in hell.
Howdy gang, Glenn here, and today I've got a box so big that I can't even keep it out of the frame. It is, of course, the latest Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty box from Funko and Star Wars. This is easily the biggest Smuggler's Bounty box we've gotten so far. This is the Empire Strikes Back box. Now, as always, spoilers are everywhere for this box already, so I'm just going to take a deep dive into the items. We won't bother with unboxing. I've already taken everything out of the box. And really, the Smuggler's Bounty boxes in particular aren't that exciting. It's just this plain white box inside. Not much to write home about. So let's get right into the items. Starting as always with the patch and pin. We'll start with the pin. Pin is a pretty basic pin. It's got our old buddy Lando.
Hello, what have we here?
And you can see just Lando's face there. Nothing, not very cartoony. You know, I dig more that animated likenesses rather than the photorealistic. So this isn't my favorite pin, but anything Lando is cool. And then the patch, we've got Yoda.
Take it to him, I will.
Nice looking patch. I love the green. Another kind of photorealistic depiction of older Yoda. This is the Dagobah Yoda. You see him wrapped up in his blanket, ready to kick off already. And so there's the patch. Pretty good one there too. All right, into the items. This is an unusual box in that no shirt, no hat, and just a couple of items because the items in there, or at least one of the items is really big. So we'll start with the small stuff first. We've got a Wampa plush. This is a little Funko plush. It's got a little beanbag filling, so it's more like the Dorbs than the regular plush. It's listed as a plush, but it's got that beanbag filling, so it'll sit. The other thing about this plush, it is the softest thing I've ever felt in a plush. It is super soft. And you know I'm not a big fan of the plushes, but this one is unique. You know, you see his claws there. Good model. I like the Wampa plush because it's so soft and it actually looks pretty good. This is going to be fun for somebody to play with. So there's the Wampa plush. Our wearable this time around is socks. This is the debut of Pop socks. So Funko is doing socks now with Pop design on it. These socks are pretty typical for IP socks in that they're not that thick. They're kind of that thin hosiery material, but not as bad as most of the socks you get. These are actually a little bit on the thicker side. Most other socks you would get in a box, you could see your hand straight through it, and you can here too, just not as much. So looks like they might last a little bit. You won't punch your toenails through this quite as easily as you would some other novelty socks. Already seeing a lot of, you know, and this happens every time that they stray from the norm. If it's not patch, pin, shirt, comic, pop, and then another pop, I'm disappointed in this box. I'm disappointed in this box. You know what, guys? This is a mystery box. The fun of it is that you're going to get different stuff. It just irritates me so much when people complain that there's not a shirt or complain that there's not a comic. There's different stuff in here. really bugs the crap out of me because I don't want to know. I don't want to get the same stuff all the time, and I don't necessarily want to know what's in the box. I've resigned myself to the fact these Funko boxes are going to spoil because they're trying to sell them, right? But half of the fun for me is getting things that are different, and these socks are different. Would I have rather had a shirt? I don't know. I don't know what shirt I would have gotten, you know? But seeing the complaints online already about how, you know, I don't care about socks, I don't care about a plush, yada, yada. You know, just give me another pop or a t-shirt. You know what? To those people, I would say you don't like subscription boxes. Don't get them. Do not get subscription boxes. Just buy the items from the subscription box that you want later on eBay, right? Because you're going to constantly be disappointed. If you go into it with the mindset that, hey, what am I going to pick on? What am I going to not like? You know what? I've got plenty of socks. I don't need socks, but they're different. I'm not going to complain about it because I've got a ton of t-shirts too. That's what subscription boxes are all about. They gotta change them up. They gotta make them different, or they get stale. How come there's not a t-shirt argument in every single box? I just don't get, because it's boring, right? And then, you know, rant off a little bit. Speaking of not being boring, how about this? The last item in the box, the Hoth Han Solo with Tauntaun. Now, this is something that they promoted the box with. They spoiled it early and said, hey, this is what is going to be in the box. This is an awesome item, but it's not your regular pop. The thing that's weird about this to me, not weird, but it's unusual in that it's not a pop ride. You know, usually something this size, you've got a one character riding something that would be a pop ride, right? But this isn't a pop ride, and we'll see why here in just a second. So here he is out of the box. Now, pop rides have a Funko Pop figure that is separate from the vehicle and can stand on its own and this is attached. So this is all one pop. So that's why it's just a pop and not a pop ride. So this is something very different. This is basically an oversized pop in one piece with Han and the Tauntaun. This is just a great look. This quickly has become one of my favorite pops. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but it's going to be in a very prominent place because this just looks great. You still got the bobblehead, so this still counts as a figure. So it's still going to have the bobble of the Star Wars line, like always. But you look at the Tauntaun, and it's got that pop sensibility, but it's also got that detail. Let's look at it real close. From the wrinkles in the fur to the strap of the saddle to Han itself, you know, you've got what I really like they've done lately is the glasses that are not quite attached to the head. You can see the eyes through the plexiglass there, which is kind of cool. But the detail on Han's outfit down to the gloves and the knapsack or sleeping bag or whatever you want to call it on the back, and him holding the reins, it just looks great. This is an amazing looking pop figure. And this is going to be hard pressed not to get in the end of the year top pops already, just because they're starting off this year just in great style. Now he comes off of the base, so you got the base that's separate like most of the Star Wars pops, but he fits in there real well and it's not gonna fall over. I like these new snow white bases as opposed to the black bases you usually get in the Star Wars figures, and that's just adds to the representation of the Hoth, Tauntaun, and Han Solo. All right, so there you go. We've got a really great, unusual pop figure in this box. So that's it. We've got the spoiler card, as always, which has, you know, from concept to execution on most of these items. You can see a little behind the scenes of the pop, and then the socks and everything else. And then next time around, we've got Star Wars Rebels. I'm looking forward to this because, number one, it's going to have the Darth Maul pop in it. But I'm becoming a big fan of Rebels. I don't think it gets quite its due. But they're putting together a great story in the 3 seasons so far of Rebels. So it's a nice prelude to Rogue One as well. So that's it. That's it for the box. This box is getting an A for me. Only reason not getting an A+ is I don't care for the socks that much. But again, guys, this is a subscription box. You're not going to absolutely love everything that you get. And if you have that expectation going in, stop. Stop getting subscription boxes. You don't need them. You can easily buy this pop outside of the box, probably for about the amount of the box. So to me, I would just get the box and not complain about it. But you know what? You can come back later and get this pop by itself. If you love the plush, you can probably find the plush because some people are selling that as well. You can almost always, right after the box comes out, find yourself being able to get anything that you want out of that box. So again, if you don't like the surprise part, if you don't want to ever get disappointed, don't get subscription boxes because they're not for you. They really aren't. And that's kind of my not so angry rant, but it just gets really annoying when people complain about subscription boxes all the time because they don't have exactly the things that they would envision to be in there. It's going to be different. It's going to be based on how they curate it and a company's style or whatever they want to do. So if you can't deal with that, get out of the subscription box game. Save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of forum complaining. And just get the items individually. Anyway, so this one gets an A box from me. I've got a lot of boxes. They all seem to come in at once. So we're going to have a lot of videos coming up this week, including some boxes that I haven't done in a long time. A box or two that I haven't done at all yet. So these will be a first time unboxings. And other than that, visit me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm going to be doing another giveaway here pretty soon, probably next week. So I'll keep you up to date on that. And until then, we'll see you next time. May the Force be with you. Bye-bye.